Griff Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome, thanks for joining me. Today's video is going to be sort of a classic 8-bar acoustic blues song, and this actually came up once or twice a month. I do a Sunday brunch, an acoustic Sunday brunch duo with a good friend of mine, and we just literally just go back and forth. I sing and play one, he just plays along, he picks one, I play along, etc., etc., etc. And this was a song that he pulled out and hadn't pulled out much. I don't think I'd ever heard him play it before. It's an old, the How Long Blues, you may know it. In any event, this was he played it in a little bit of that sort of country, with the alternating bass and some of this kind of stuff. And I thought, man, that's a really nice approach to that tune. I think I will show everybody how that goes. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to play it. Now we're playing it in the key of C. And the basic groove, right? I'm just playing, my basic C chord to start with. And so you'll notice that I'm hitting, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We kind of have that lopey swing, right? So some people will say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And I always say because technically there's an and in there that we're just not using, so we don't say it. But nonetheless, what I want you to get comfortable doing first is hitting the bass note by itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now notice my strumming hand direction, okay? I'm not going 1, 2. I'm not doing up on 2. One of the easiest ways to know if you're strumming properly is, are you strumming down on down beats? Okay, by down beats, 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's got a number, it's a downbeat. If it's got an and or an or something like that, it's an upbeat. So in this case, 1, 2, 3. Well, and now I'm throwing in the alternate bass. Let's don't do that yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, one of the things you might say is, but Griff, I accidentally hit that other string sometimes. Me too. Notice how my third finger right there is touching that low string to mute it out. Now, I could do what I call sort of country bumpkin G, where I hit both of these notes, but I really don't want to, because I don't want that G to come out, that low G, unless I want it to. And it's because I'm going to make this bass alternate. I'm going to go from the C bass to the G bass. And when I play the G, notice I just moved my third finger, right? It's laying across that fifth string. So if I do happen to accidentally hit it, you won't hear it, okay? So alternating back and forth, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, okay? That's the technique. You should be comfortable doing that at a nice slow speed. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go from the C to a C7. And I do that by adding my pinky right to the third fret of the third string. So I'm gonna do it on the C, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm gonna go to the C7, 2, 3, 4, a little bit faster, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm gonna go down to an F. Now, admittedly, that's going to be tough for a lot of people. It is challenging to play an F chord. But assuming that you can, what I want to suggest that you do is don't work on the upper notes. Get the lower 4 strings. So even if those last 2 notes, even if those don't ring, right? That's what I want, ideally. Okay, but a lot of people approach bar chords in the wrong order. They try to get the upper notes to come out first. It's pretty easy to get 1, 2, 3, 4, because there's no bar involved for those 4 notes. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the low string, 1, 2, then the fifth string. Okay, so that's how I alternate bass on a bar chord. And if I go ahead and push down, now am I gonna hit it perfect every time? Nope. No, I am not. Okay, that's all right. Occasionally you're gonna hear a little buzz, a little something funky. The F chord, because of where it sits, it's a little out of tune. Anyway, because of where it sits, right, it's on the lowest fret. That means it takes the most amount of pressure. Please don't, try to brute force this chord. The main thing is to get up nice and close to the frets. And position your fingers so that everything rings out. You'll notice how I tend to lean into this, right? In fact, I'm going to use this camera so you can see. You'll often see me, like if I'm playing and I'm comfortable, but then I go to the F, I gotta dig in, like I gotta get there. Okay, getting my head closer to the head of the guitar usually makes that easier. So you will definitely see when I have to be certain that's gonna happen, I bring my guitar up, like I lean into it, and that's okay. Don't be afraid to do that, okay? So again, that's gonna be the most challenging chord to get it to ring out. But notice that if I just mute out those top two, it doesn't sound horrible. We still get that it's an F chord. It's not the worst. The next chord, and it only does that once. 1, 3, 4. Now we have an F sharp diminished 7. Another one, it's a little bit tricky. And there's a couple of different ways you can approach this, I think, but the probably most common way, I have my middle finger on that F sharp at the 2nd fret. This top part, I'm barring. My first finger is playing the 1st fret on the 4th and the 2nd string. And then I've got my 3rd finger at the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, sorry, and my pinky on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Now, if you wanted to use 1, 3, 2, 4 and put your thumb down here, you could do that, right? That might not be horrible. I'm not the best at reaching around with my thumb, but some people are really comfortable doing that. So I would not. I would just do this. And the alternating bass, in this case, is the note on the 4th string. Okay, so far I've got C, C7, F, F sharp diminished, and I should be specific, it's F sharp diminished 7. And I should be very specific about that because F sharp diminished and F sharp diminished 7 are actually very different chords with very different functions. So just throw that out there for the theory geeks. After that, we're back to C. Now, this time that I play the C, I don't do the alternating bass. I stay in one place. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 1. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk down E, F, F sharp, G. Now, at this point, you could do a G or a G7. Kind of whatever you want. So C, 2, 3, 4, and a 1, 2, 3. And again, see, I missed. Notice that I didn't put my middle finger down the way I should have. And I often don't. I'm kind of funny about that. I don't always like the sound of that B down there on the 5th string. So I've actually just got my 3rd finger here on the 3rd fret of the 6th string and my 1st finger here on the 1st fret of the 1st string. And then my middle finger just mutes out that 5th string. And the open fourth string is the alternating bass. Now, when I get back to the C, let's do everything up until that. C, C7, F, F sharp diminished 7, C, G7, C. Now, when I strike that, that's beat 1. From that point, I could do like a turnaround. Okay, so that's the classic turnaround. So I've got the 5th fret at the 4th and 2nd strings. And you'll notice you can pick them both. And you see how I just walk down? 5th, 4th, 3rd, and then I land at the 2nd, 1st, just like a C chord. So it's 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, 2, and a 3, 2, and a 3. So again, I walk into the G. So again, that turnaround would be 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, a 2, and a 3. Now you can do that all with a pick, but I much prefer using my pick and my middle finger. So 1, 2, and a 3, and a 4, and a 1, a 2, and a 3, 4, a 1, and then I start over. So C, C7, F, F sharp diminished 7, C, G7, C, turn around, and then after I get done, that's on beat 3, I strum my G7 again, and then I start over. Kind of messed that one up, sorry. That's how it all goes down. All right. So there's some stuff in there that will take some work. If you're not comfortable playing those bar chords, that's obviously going to be the most challenging part. But these are not particularly outrageous chords on an acoustic guitar. Now, I will tell you, I am currently playing 12 gauge strings, generally considered light gauge strings on my acoustic guitar. I definitely notice if I go down to 11s or 10s, things like that F are a lot easier. The F and the F sharp diminished 7. So you might want to think about that. If you've got, 13s or 14s or 15s on your acoustic guitar, that's going to be a real challenge to play, and it might be worth considering some lighter strings while you're getting more comfortable on the instrument. Okay, so that's going to pretty much wrap it up for me for today. I do have a lot of this kind of stuff. I have a course called Strumming and Rhythm Mastery, and believe it or not, that's where a lot of the alternating bass and walking bass and all these types of more country-fied or pop or other styles outside of the blues, these types of strums are located. So if you're not familiar with that course, I'll try and remember to leave a link so you can check it out if you want to. And as always, I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed. If you have guitar playing friends you think could dig this video, I hope you'll share it with them, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.